Hi everybody, welcome to the Red Bank Public Library. I'm Sarah Williams. I'm the children's librarian here, and I'm celebrating because it's the 2-year anniversary of this program, which is called Family Story Times on Race and Diversity. And I'm just really happy, and I'm happy that you're here. I want to remind you that we started this program at the beginning of the pandemic, right after George Floyd was killed in Minneapolis by the police. And that incident just really shocked the world. And it was so upsetting that there was a lot of activism all around the country and around the world. Do you remember all the protests and the marches and the conversations that people were having of all different backgrounds about issues of race and social justice? Well, we have kept that conversation going, and that's what I'm really proud about. And so we're celebrating. Happy anniversary! Happy anniversary. Oh, I want to share with you the award that we just won. It's got bubbles on it now, from the New Jersey Library Association. And it recognizes this program, Family Story Times on Race and Diversity, for being an innovative program here in New Jersey. So once again, good job to us. But here's the thing, we're still here talking, because while we've kept the conversations going about race and diversity, more and more troubling things keep happening in the world. And now that includes increased gun violence here in America and war in other parts of the country. I mean, in other parts of the world. And so it just gets to be overwhelming and upsetting to the point where sometimes the weight of it just really gets me down, because I don't want you kids to grow up in a world like this. And sometimes I feel like what I'm doing is not making a difference, but that's not good. That's not good, because we have to keep hope alive in order to keep pushing forward. So when I start to feel like that, that's when I have to stop and get still and take a deep breath and just tap into my inner self so that I can refocus my mind and my body and my spirit on some positivity, right? And we've done so many programs, and one of the programs that we did about mindfulness, I taught you a little exercise to help you get centered and refocused, and that was a breathing exercise. I called it, I think, a roller coaster breathing, where you put your hand up like this, and then you just gently and slowly trace your fingers, but you got to close your eyes and then breathe. So as you go up, you breathe in, and as you go down, you breathe out, and up and down. And by the time you've done your whole hand, you've taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deep breaths, and you've focused on what you were doing, and your mind is clear and you're ready to refocus. And so when I do that, I think that's something that you should practice, but when I do that, then I have to start over by reminding myself, like literally reminding myself of all the things that I'm thankful for, all the things that are good in my life, like my family and my friends, my health and strength, my job, which I love, and sunshine, summertime. My list is so long. But if we can do that and remind ourselves of these things, that helps us to get some balance in our mind and some perspective so that we can keep that hope alive. But as much as we're thankful for our thankful things, we do need to remember that there's so many people around us here, in our communities, in our neighborhoods, even in our schools. There's people that don't have all the things that we have. and whose lives are really, really impacted by the things that are going on in the news. And so that's where we need to start. We need to start with our own communities and find something that we can do here and now to make a difference. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So the book that I have today is called The Breaking News. And breaking news is news that's so important that everything stops. At least if you're watching TV, all the programs stop and the breaking news comes in so that everybody gets the message of what's going on. And most of the time, breaking news is not good news, but it's important and people need to know about it. So this book is called The Breaking News, and it's written and illustrated by Sarah Lynne Reul. And there's been a lot of breaking news lately, and so that's why I thought it was appropriate to read this book today. It's kind of a simple story, but it's a good one. It's a good one. Oh, let me scoot over a little bit more. It says, I remember when we heard the bad news. Oh, keep your eye on these illustrations and what this family is up to. See in this picture, they're just getting started on planting some seeds and flowers. So I remember when we heard the bad news. And see, everything stops. The breaking news is coming on the TV. Suddenly, Mom is glued to the television, and Dad can't stop checking his phone. They whisper, and I pretend not to hear. It's more than a little scary. Mom forgets to tuck me in, and Dad is too tired for bedtime stories. It seems like everyone else feels it too. The kids on the bus, everyone looks worried. At school, my teacher says to look for the helpers. Even when the news is bad, you can still find good people trying to make things better in big and small ways. That's true. Well, I want to help in a big way. B-I-G, big. I decide to put on the funniest show ever to make everyone laugh again. But the grown-ups don't feel like laughing. I tell them about the force fields I'll invent to keep us all safe. But their smiles are tiny and sad. I try to be on my best behavior all the time, to be so good. But they hardly even notice. I think maybe there's nothing I can do to help in a big way. And I feel small. See how everybody looks so sad? Even the dog, even the plants. Well, maybe I can try to do just one small thing. Let's see, what's the small thing that she's doing? She's gonna water the plant. And maybe I can do another. And another. And one more. Small things don't solve everything. The bad news is still there after all. See, everyone in the neighborhood is down. But then again, so you see what idea she's having? We. Remember, she said the bad news is still there, but so are we. And maybe there's something we can do. So what are they doing? They're giving. They're giving. They're giving a little plant, and they're giving some hope and some love to their friends and neighbors. And look how it's brightening up everybody's worlds. And so that's the end. But it has a good message. And like I said, there's been a lot of breaking news and bad news in the world lately. And some of it's scary and it's not good. And you might be feeling like the kids in this story, like you don't know what you can do. But that's why this reminds us that we're still here. We're still here and we have so much that we can give. They might be small things, but look at how what they did, just that little act of kindness, brightened this neighborhood and their community. Where's that page? Look, before, sad and gray, and after, light and bright. Around each little plant is a burst of light and hope. And so we can plant little seeds of kindness in our communities. I think that we can, and help rekindle some hope in the others around us. And so I want us to talk about today, or you with your families, about some of the things that you can do to first get things in perspective, and then by focusing on yourself, and then going out and spreading some kindness. So you do have to start with yourself and your families, and you can do that by just checking in with each other and talking every day. And it's as easy as saying, hey, how are you feeling today? Good morning, how are you feeling? And then listening. And when it's your turn to share, don't be afraid to talk about the things that are worrying you or stressing you out. Things that are happening in the world, the big things that are happening in the world, or things that are happening, the big things that are happening in your own life. Once you share how you're feeling, you really will feel better, and you'll be able to work together to find maybe some answers and some ideas of things that you can do, like I said, to get things into perspective and to lighten that load that's on your mind, because it does feel heavy when you're feeling like that, and feeling anxious. And so talk about things that you can do to refocus, like I said, the breathing technique, and thinking of your thankful list. Do you have your thankful list? I know you think about it at Thanksgiving time, but really it's a great way to start the day with gratitude and remember all the good things that you have going for you and that you have in your life. And then another thing that you can do to help ground yourself is to turn off your devices. This is a tricky one. It's hard even for grown-ups, but to put your phone down, put down your laptop, your tablet, the switch, whatever it is that keeps you going or reading what's going on and distracting your mind, or having it hyper-focused on the bad things that are happening, is to set that aside and to have some quiet time just to yourself, where you could listen to music, you could read a good book, you could do some art, color, draw, write in a journal. These are good things. You always feel better if you set aside time to do that. I pretty much guarantee it. That's fun stuff that gets your mind working in a different way and tuned into yourself. Another thing that you can do is connect with nature. You can go out by yourself or as a family, take a walk in the woods. Monmouth County has so many beautiful parks. Take a walk in the woods. Head over to the beach or down to the river. That's why I wanted to be outside today. Go out in your backyard or on your porch and look up at the stars at night. And all of those things can help you connect with nature and help you realize what a big, beautiful world we live in and how pretty amazing it is. And how we're just a small part of the things that are going on in this world. And that helps to put things in perspective. Another thing you can do is to connect with others. And that's really important. It's something we all should do, not just with our family and our friends or our family, as I said before, but with others that we may not even know. And what you do and put out into the world really does come back to you. It really does. I wrote something down because scientists have studied how kindness affects other people. Not just affects people. It affects other people, but it also affects you when you're kind to others. So this is some of the findings. That people feel better when they're kind to others, even more than when they're kind to themselves. Let me say that again, because I didn't read it very well. People feel better when they're kind to others, even more than when they're kind to themselves. Being kind makes people feel helpful, optimistic, and can boost your self-esteem. That's how you feel about yourself. Being kind can help you feel more connected with others, which helps strengthen our sense of belonging and our sense of community. And being kind can benefit our emotional well-being and improve our overall happiness. So I don't see anything bad about being kind. It sounds pretty good to me. Good for you and good for others, of course. So let's give it a try. It can just be tiny things like smiling and saying hello when you pass somebody in the hall, at school, or on the street, even if you don't know them. It just brightens somebody's day if you can say hi and keep on moving. You could hold the door for somebody. You could do a chore at home without somebody asking you to. That would be nice. Lend a hand to somebody who needs it. Or on a deeper level, you could get involved with a local organization and volunteer and really commit to doing some regular work to help others. That would be amazing. I think you should talk about it and find some ways that would be good for you to do some acts of kindness. And I think that acts of kindness are like bubbles. I was blowing bubbles before. Let me find my bubble. Of course, it's all goopy now. Let's see. Let me try one more time. There we go. But acts of kindness are like bubbles because they go out into the world. They're light, they're gentle, they're beautiful, and they're uplifting. And you just never know where they're gonna go or who they're gonna touch. And a lot of times, if the wind is right, they'll come right back at you. They'll come right back at you. just like acts of kindness do. It all goes around. And so as we go out and interact with others, I just want to remind you that being kind is a choice. And you can decide every day when you go out the door how you want to be. What's your attitude going to be today? And I always want to, it doesn't always happen, we're not perfect, but I want to be a person that spreads positivity and kindness and light. And I hope you do too. So once again, happy anniversary to us. I want you to know that all of the programs that we've done for Family Story Times on Race and Diversity, there's 36 of them. This is going to be 37. They're on our YouTube channel, the YouTube channel for the Red Bank Public Library. And they're in a playlist called Family Story Times on Race and Diversity. And I think that one thing that we can do to keep hope alive is to keep our conversations going. So please take a look at that YouTube channel and maybe look at some programs that you might have missed. And you think you could share them with a friend so that we could keep the conversations going? That would be amazing. I got to tell you something. This summer, I'm going to take a break. I did it last summer too. And I did something special. I'm going to do it again because I want you to keep the conversations going. We are going to have a family summer read along. So I'm going to prepare some bags with a book for you to read at home together. You get to keep the book. It'll have some discussion questions, some activities, and things that you can do together at home. I haven't decided the book yet. You know what? In here are some books I thought we could read because this month, there's a lot of things going on. Juneteenth is June 19th. It's Pride Month. And I could read books about love is love is love. But we've done that in this program, in those 36 programs. So I want you to track those down. But I've got some good ideas of books I could give to you. Oh, it's summertime, so I thought I would maybe read that book. But I'll find something good. Keep your eye out on our social media so you know when those are available and you can get your hands on one. Okay? I want to wish you a happy, happy summer. I hope that it's filled with peace. Where's my sign? Peace and love. All right? As always, take some and pass it on. Bye, everybody. Take good care.